Let's talk about what we're doing to white people. There's been something going on for a while now that we're being told not to notice. More to the point, that we're asking white people not only to ignore, but to accept. The rising tide of racial hatred against white people. In the past decade, there has been a noticeable cultural shift in what constitutes acceptable speech as it relates to white people. Back when I was a kid, in the early 2000s, the mainstream American culture preached about respecting each other's differences and not seeing color. Nowadays, we say that not seeing color is racism, that you must see color. But the more I see how things are unfolding, the more I'm convinced that this is wrong. Back then, saying something offhanded about white people were seen as not appropriate, just as it would be to say something offhanded about people of any other race. But that soon gave way to our current times, in which there exists virtually no limit to what racial minorities can and do say about white people. I believe this is the natural outgrowth of a perverse ideology that teaches us that every societal ill, is the fault of white people, and that whatever prejudice acts we may inflict upon them does not constitute discrimination because we don't have the power to discriminate. And alarmingly, this is particularly pronounced in the younger generation. But is it true? Do we not have the power to discriminate?
Yeah, I mean, number one, man, I gotta give this young man total credit for standing up and speaking and saying what's on his mind because, man, in this culture right now, it is not seen as acceptable to stand up there and defend whiteness. But again, man, he's correct on this stuff, man. You know, again, can black people be racist if they had no power? Well, of course, man. Of course. But the thing with power, black people have more power than they want to say they have, or even I think than some maybe even understand they have. But if you can yell racism, that something is racist, people turn and look and they come running to your aid. They come to help you. Like the white knight, you know, I got to help this person because they're being discriminated against. And I think, man, there's a large degree of that's going on. And again, man, it's just like the stuff that's going on right now in Florida. You know, Governor DeSantis said, you know, I'm not going to allow that Black History AP course to be taught, you know, because of the things that are in it. And, you know, all this commotion is being stirred up about this. And if you actually look at what's being taught, I mean, some of the stuff, man, is just pure indoctrination. Black queer theory, I mean, come on. You know, they're going to teach reparations, but only from one point of view. Come on. You know, I mean, again, right now there's a certain amount of power in constantly claiming a victimhood status. Whether or not you're actually a victim or not, you're claiming that status and you're blaming other people, other races for your ills. And again, man, I'm not talking about all black people, not even close to all black people. There are a lot of black people I really like. And, you know, it's really sad, man, because especially this new generation is growing up in a way to where, like, you can blame other people totally for the failures that belong to you. And not only are you growing up doing that, but you're being encouraged to be that way. You're being taught to be that way. And I think that's what Governor DeSantis was talking about with the Stop Woke Act. You know, he doesn't want that being taught. Because not only are you doing a disservice to the country, to white people, but you're doing a disservice to the people that you're telling they're a victim to. You're trying to convince them that they're a victim. The other people oppress them. I mean, that's pure 100% evil. It's just evil.
Resonate with at least some of you. The difficulty here is that no matter how many anecdotes I share, they are just that, anecdotes. And people who refuse to believe that this is happening will just chalk it up to my experiences being a fluke. Or worse yet, they'll say I'm lying. So I've compiled some TikTok videos. I want you to take a look at the things that are being said about white people, especially by the younger generation, the kind of statements people wouldn't dare say about people of any other race. Take a look at what is stunningly in vogue in today's society and ask yourselves, where does this lead to years down the line?
You have a token white and you're hanging out with your friend group of color, you need to ask permission from everybody in the group to bring your white friend. Like, don't just bring them. I might not be in the mood to deal with white shenanigans that day. That's all I'm saying. And another thing, it feeds into their ego. Like, don't let them think they're a good white person.
Accomplices ask.
Wow. I mean, number one, man, you have to ask everyone else whether it's okay to bring a white person. I mean, could you imagine if it were the other way around? If you were saying that you had to ask everyone in the group, is it okay if I bring a black person? I mean, really? Could you imagine the outrage that video would get? But again, man, it's totally cool because it's about white people. And white people, there are no good white people. That's what she's saying. Yeah. Again, you can't make this stuff up.
How can they support Black and Indigenous people of color? And sometimes I really don't know what to say, but here's one easy way. Just don't have babies.
Women can single-handedly.
Yeah, just don't have babies, guys. Don't have babies. That's how you can support Indigenous people. Yeah, no.
Cause the white genocide that they are so afraid of. With 2.25 billion Asian women and 500 million white men, baby, it'll only take 2 generations. In 2 generations, there will no longer be any blonde-haired...
These are some things I noticed.
You know, again, I don't know what exactly she's saying, but as long as white men and white women sleep together, they're going to have babies. They're going to have white babies. So unless you're saying that Asian women are going to sleep with white men, I don't really know what you're saying. And I'm going to be quite honest, I don't know if you know what you're saying, but okay.
About white American culture, being grounded is a punishment to them. That's what they call punishment. The least grounded, least balanced, most destructive race considers being grounded a punishment? Yeah. They also say really...
Yeah. The most violent people, maybe the crime statistics might tell you something different. Maybe.
Violent phrases. They say things like, kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Well, how do we have to kill the birds? Why is everything so violent? It's almost like one's language and phrases reflects one's nature.
So that new...
Again, trying to explain the use of idioms to an idiot. Yeah, I don't think she's ever gonna... I'm not even gonna try.
new Jeffrey Dahmer movie on Netflix is the perfect example of the sensationalization of white violence. People have a much easier time sympathizing with white criminals than they do with black victims. People think these shows are harmless, but they actually...
Yeah, you know, white people definitely don't sympathize with black people. I mean, you know, all the movies that have been made about slavery and everything else, man, and again, not one white person has ever sympathizes with the black people. You know, again, white people go out of their way to show you they're not racist. Yeah, you know, here, let me give you this. Here, take that. Oh, that's fine. Anything at all. And, you know, but again, white people can't sympathize with black people. They're much more connected with Jeffrey Dahmer. Okay.
Contribute to a much bigger issue. It contributes to the viewpoint that white people are less violent than everyone else, and white violence is something to be consumed in media, and that's it.
What is with Caucasian people and like their inability to like read a fucking room? Like, y'all act like you don't understand shit because y'all be the first ones during a conversation about the Holocaust to get so mad when black people be like, you do realize that the original Jewish people were black, right? White people do not need to explain to anybody.
Yeah, I don't think the original Jewish people were black, and I'm assuming you mean the original victims were black. And I think throughout history, human history, humans have been nasty, mean, and cruel to other humans, no matter what race. But again, white people, I think, are more concerned right now with they don't want to be seen as racist. So they're quick to denounce everything.
About us all bleeding red because, baby, you all are the people that need to learn that lesson. Clearly, history shows that you all are the people that like to pillage and eradicate, enslave and oppress, attempt to suppress greatness because you all simply don't have it.
Right? Here go y'all cum god.
Okay, here's one issue I have with that. You're attempting, obviously, to get white people to feel guilty because of things that happened in the past. You're wanting white people to identify with that. You're wanting white people to identify with being oppressors of black people, the pillagers, the rapists, whatever you said. What about what people with your skin complexion are doing present day? I mean, again, I'm not in any way saying that all black people are any particular way, but there is higher crime stats amongst black people than there are white people, than there are Asian people. As a matter of fact, Asian people had the lowest. But again, you're trying to get white people to feel guilty and to identify more with the white people that enslaved black people years ago. But you don't want to identify with the black criminals nowadays. Why is that?
Goblins who don't even live in the fucking city. Which, by the way, the Q-tip people are the last ones to ever talk about somebody stealing anything. Y'all wouldn't be in this country had it not been for y'all stealing it. So y'all are more focused on people looting and trying to get necessities and things that they need. And yes, a TV is a fucking necessity thing. You feel like you're better than because people are out here stealing and you would never. First of all, if you are a Mayo monster, that is how your ancestors got everything, from stealing. People are.
And that's a behavior.
Well, here's the thing, man. If you're okay with stealing because necessities, well, then I'll send all the people that need stuff to your house and they can steal it from you first. And then I'll wonder just how okay you'd be with that. You're talking about white people are upset because people are stealing. I think majority of decent people are. But again, man, I guess you're not a decent person.
That's very common among white women. You may have not intended that, but there are many white women who act exactly like you.
I guess she's got some kind of an issue with I don't know, maybe saliva. I don't know. Or maybe she's spitting. She's practicing spitting or something. I really don't know, but yeah, gross.
If you can find it in your heart this holiday season to donate to the Discriminated White Fund, you'd be helping millions.
Nothing says high protein like cicadas and cheese. Make sure you...
And nothing says caucasity like that right there. What caucasity looks like. Roaming Asian grocery stores like it's an amusement park.
Explain to me why white people don't wear shoes outdoor, but wear shoes inside.
We are both white women. We are inherently a danger in spaces for Black, Indigenous, and other people of color simply by existing.
It's white cis men who are a part of the far right-winged ideology of fascism. That is a true threat and the terrorism to this country.
If BIPOC...
Well, I mean, that woman saying that women like her, white women, are a danger to Indigenous women and women of color. Well, I mean, what are you planning on doing about that?
Stand in the street and scream at the top of their lungs, I hate all white people. I want all white people to go die. Die, white devil, you cracker bitch. That's still not racism.
You're not one of the good white people. Stop separating us from the bad white people. Don't sit out there in comments and say, we don't claim them. We are them. We are the ones shooting up schools. We are the ones raping people, the ones enslaving people.
And I'll say it.
Wow. Wow. So white people, all white people, you're putting white people into a group, I guess including yourself. We're all shooting up schools and raping people and whatever. Seriously.
I hate being white. Which means I'm one of the good ones.
All white people are inherently racist.
Yeah.
Can you be racist against white people?
Based off of the definition of racism, yes, but it's not gonna hurt them and hurt their opportunities like it does people of color.
While technically you can, it's not like an issue.
You can't oppress the oppressor.
If it helps you sleep at night, I'm racist to white people and I'm proud of it.
Why do people not understand that you can't be racist to white people? It's impossible. The system is not set up that way. You can insult white people, but it is not racism. Me calling a white person a tub of mayonnaise and a flower looking ass, that's not racist.
You went all the way to Africa to physically take black people from their homes, shove them in on boats where a lot of them got diseases and died. Tell them where.
Who did? Who are these people? Where are they? That went to Africa to get people. Oh, the dead people. I thought you were talking about me. Because I don't remember. I mean, I've gotten drunk quite a few times and, and blacked out and that kind of stuff. But I don't remember ever sailing to Africa and buying slaves. So I don't know who you're talking about when, yeah.
They could sit on a bus, tell them which schools they could go to, which water fountains they could use, which bathrooms they could use, and that's sugarcoating it. Those are just terms. I'm not even describing all the disgusting things that happen, and they don't even want revenge. They are letting you guys skate by asking for equal rights. That's it.
Maybe, first of all, maybe there are equal rights, number one. Just, maybe. And number two, man, revenge? Why would they be looking for revenge? Why should they get revenge? They weren't slaves. And I wasn't a slave owner. And I don't know any former slave owners or former slaves. But again, you're trying to put a level of guilt onto a group of people because of their skin color. Even though it's separated by all kinds of time, it's not even the actual people that committed the crimes.
And you're still saying no? They are not as angry as they should be. Y'all are getting off easy, and you're still saying no? Fuck you.
Some people look at that and chalk it up to the grumblings of the powerless. That's the idea that when you have a power disparity, the less powerful sort of has this general society given leeway to complain about the more powerful. The villagers complaining about their king doesn't have the same ring as the king making snide and crude comments about the villagers. But that's not what's going on here. Because although certain segments of our society refuse to believe this, even as evidence mount before our very eyes, in one side of the political aisle, people of color actually have greater power than white people. That is the
I really enjoyed going through his stuff and looking at some of his videos. I mean, really good videos. But I'm going to go ahead and cut the video here because of the sake of time. But I'm going to put a link down below of this video and of the his channel in the in description, because man, I definitely think it's worth your time to go take a look at his channel and go through his videos and just listen to what this young man has to say, because man, it's really good stuff. But guys, if you would please like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below.
You son of a